So here we are. This is Calvary Cemetery. Now, I don't know much about this place other than, it's a cemetery. And like I said, I'd been here a couple times when I was younger. In my teenage years, doing stuff with my friends, coming out here at night and just kind of hanging out, telling ghost stories and things like that. So that Saturday morning when I was out riding my Ninja, I decided to pull in here and take a break. Because I like going to cemeteries because there's rarely people around. So I get in here and I'm just kind of riding around and looking for a good place to park. So I ride up this direction on here. And this road in here is extremely rough. So I'm not going very fast. I mean, there's gravel all over the place and there's cracks and big holes in the concrete. So being a new rider, I'm just taking it nice and easy, trying not to wipe out on this sand. Now there's a couple of people here today, but when this happened on that particular Saturday, there's absolutely nobody out and about. So I see this little tree right here, and at the time of year, it's in full bloom. It's got flowers on it and shade and everything else. So I pull up right here on my Ninja, throw a neutral, kickstand down, turn the bike off, and proceed to get my chill on. I was here just a few minutes, 10, 15, I don't know. It wasn't all that long. And I'm just standing here looking out and around, just kind of enjoying the scenery. And I looked over this way just for a minute. And then I looked back over this way, and right here, I don't know, right about 5, 10, 15 feet away from me, I mean, not very far at all, there's a young man of Native American descent. Or I'll just say he was an Indian kid. I don't really care. Sue me. So he just kind of appears out of nowhere. And he says to me, as he's walking past right about here, he says, how's it going? I said, pretty good. And he goes, what are you doing here? Which kind of struck me as odd, but I told him, I was like, hey man, I'm just, just kind of kicking back, enjoying the weather, taking a break. He goes, right on, cool. And he keeps walking this direction. Now, my memory is kind of fuzzy because, like I said, this happened like 3 years ago, but he got right about over to this part right here, right about that tree, and he started, he hung a left and started walking down that road where I just took you down. And I wasn't really paying too much attention to him at that point. We said our hellos and he went on his way. But just as he gets past that tree right there, he turns around and yells something to effect, remember, the devil is coming. I said, what? In my head. I didn't say anything to him. I just kind of, that's kind of, I don't know, my senses kind of kicked in and said, maybe this kid's crazy, he's got something wrong with him or something like that. But so he continues to walk down that road right over there. And I'm just kind of keeping an eye on him because I don't know if he's going to turn around and get psycho on me or what. Now this kid, he's probably, I want to say he's 17 or 18 years old just by looking at him. And I remember what he was wearing because it struck me as odd. He was wearing like these, they're like Christmas colors. He was either wearing a red or green shirt and either red or green shorts. I don't remember, but he also had on one of those string backpacks where it's just basically just a bag. And it's got strings that, you put over your shoulders, and they look really super uncomfortable if you carry anything more than 2 pounds in them. But anyways, he gets right down over there, right by that statue. If you can see right in the center of the picture right there. At the time, I didn't know, I didn't pay attention to what that statue was. But he was walking all the way down over there, and just as he got to that statue, he turned and yelled at it. Now, there's going to be some cussing here in this part. So, if you don't want to hear some swearing, then just, I just want to tell you what the kid said. He turned and looked at that statue and said, fuck you, I hate you, why the fuck did you do this to me? And he's screaming it at the top of his lungs. So it really caught my attention. It kind of caught me off guard. He's screaming and yelling at this thing, just cussing and carrying on a storm as he's standing in front of it and pointing at it and just screaming, cussing. And after about a minute or so of that, which is a really long time to be standing at, in front of a statue cussing at it, he continued on his way down this road over here and just continued to walk. And I don't know if you can see that funky shape. See that little white building over there and then the funky one right next to it? Well, I'm gonna have to get back on the bike and continue the story because, well, I have to do it from that perspective in order to tell you the whole rest of the story. So just a second. So as I'm standing here, I'm hearing this kid screaming and cussing. As he's wandering down that road over there, he's still talking, still saying things. I kind of, to be honest with you, I wanted to ask him what he meant when he turned and looked at me and said, "Remember, the devil is coming." So call me crazy, call me whatever the heck you want. And I shouldn't, have wanted to, confront this kid or even talk to him anymore, considering whatever mental state he was in. But anyways, I decided I was going to go ask this kid what he meant by that. Now, that little weird shaped building down there is where he hung a hard left and headed over towards it. So like I said, I didn't know what this little statue was over here, the one that he was screaming at. I'm going to pull over right here and just show you what it is. It's Christ. Which, after I decided to get back on my bike and kind of follow him and talk to him again, it kind of struck me because I rode past this and I looked at it and said, wow. He was like standing here, cussing at Jesus. And that was really kind of funky, but so he's walking up this road just at a normal pace. And just after he had hung a hard left and went beyond or past that weird shaped building over here, not sure what it's called, but I got up right about to this point and I'm looking over there. And as you can see, there's nowhere to go. Now, granted, you see all this wrought iron fence that's up here now? This is new. It's not very old. But at the time when I had seen this kid, there was shrub oak, tall shrubs, growing all the way next to that building and back in behind it. And there was nowhere to go. You can't get past that building going from here to there. Reason being is because those headstones you see on the other side over there, that's a different cemetery. Okay, that's Tahoma Cemetery. This is Calvary Cemetery. So they're separated by a fence or bushes or something, so you can't just pass in between them freely. So I pulled up to this thing and I saw that there was nowhere to go. And I'm like, what the heck? Because I could see him. I could see his head bobbing as he's walking up above those bushes at the time. He's clearly on the other side of those bushes. And he's headed back that direction. So I'm going, all right, how the heck did he get through there? So, kind of making a beeline towards the dude. Well, not a beeline, because I didn't straight, but anyways, I wanted to see where he was going. So this is the exact path that I took to get back out of this cemetery. And as you can see, this road is, like I mentioned earlier, it's pretty damn rough. So while at the same time I'm trying not to spill my bike, I'm riding it as quickly as possible. And there's nobody else around, so, me kind of boogieing through the cemetery is not really bothering anybody. Oh my God. You can hear my voice. Tell how rough this thing is. Now I know the cemetery next to me, Tahoma Cemetery, you can ride from the front of it all the way to the back of it and go through the gate back there. So that was my plan. I was going to cruise back through there and kind of catch up to this kid. Now, if you guys are still here at this part in the story, I want to say thank you, because I know this is going to be long. But what's the point of telling a story if you leave parts out that are crucial to the story itself? So at the time, that gate was open. It's closed today, but that gate was open. Not that that really matters, because I came in this gate anyways. So I get in here, and this cemetery is much better kept than the one next door. So the roads are nice and smooth. And I come in through here. Now, I had lost sight of the kid at this point, because he had already made his way all the way to the back of the cemetery by now. But still, I'm able to make a lot quicker progress through this cemetery. Now, I'm going to slow down right here. And it's looking right over there. That's that weird oval, funky shaped building right over there. So by the time I left that oval shaped video and got to this point right here, I had lost sight of him. He was gone. Okay? He was headed right directly for this back entrance to the cemetery back here. So that's the first. Another thing that struck me as odd was how quickly he had moved from that line of trees back there next to that weird building all the way to the back of this place, and then just poof, disappeared. You can't cover that much ground on foot in just the matter of, like, what, a minute? Something? So he's gone. Just gone. I get back here and I'm really kind of confused, and I stop right here, look left, look right, thinking, well, he's not up that road, so he has to be up this road. So I cruise up here, and right about this time there's a woman out here walking. I can't remember if she had a dog with her or something like that, but I stopped and asked her, I said, did you see a dark-haired kid with a ponytail? Because this Indian kid, he had a ponytail, walking through here. And she says, no, haven't seen anybody. But she said that she hadn't seen him, or anybody else for that matter. So I came up this road. Now this wasn't torn up at the time, it was still paved. I think they're doing that for some new construction, but I'm riding kind of slow looking around for this kid. I'm thinking, well, he must have went in one of these houses or something around here and just kind of disappeared. So I just kind of decided to give up the so-called the pursuit of looking for this kid, and just decided to head back home. Now I'm not really exactly sure which one of these roads I turned on. Let me see if I can nail it, if I can get it right this time. Which road is that? That's Plath, that's a dead end, so this isn't it. So anyways, I'm riding back through this neighborhood here, and it doesn't really take me all that long to get back to the road I'm looking for, which is this one right here, because I used to live on this road. And I turned on this road here. So we're talking about just a matter of just a couple of minutes, passing from the last time I seen this kid walking in the direction of east, and now a couple minutes later I'm heading back west. So I pull up to this road out here, and it's 24th Avenue, which is the road that I used to get to the cemetery, only I'm heading back north now instead of coming from the south to get into the cemetery. As I come to the stop sign, I look to my left, and there's one red mid-90s Mustang convertible with two older ladies in it. I say older by meaning, they're probably in their 60s or something. They got the top down because it's nice weather, and they're out just cruising around enjoying the day. Now there's a couple of things that are different here. That hotel wasn't there at the time. They were just getting ready to build it, so I had a chain link fence. But I'm riding past, and just as I glance over here, I see that kid right there, walking that direction. And I'm like, because I was watching where those ladies had turned in. They turned in right there, and well, that's where that kid was. So I turned in here in this parking lot. Now at the time, right over here, like I said, the building wasn't there, but there was a chain link fence, which there kind of is still down here, and I'm riding kind of slow, and I'm looking that direction. I could see him bopping along, going back there. So in the matter of just a couple of minutes, this kid was at the end of a cemetery headed east, to now he's headed west. Probably, I don't even know, a mile and a half away. I don't know if it's that far, but there's absolutely no way you can cover that kind of distance on foot in that amount of time. So I'm going to go ride back behind this building, which is where I believe that this kid is. Now, like I said, I decided to give up pursuit of this kid. I wasn't going to, decided not to talk to him, but I don't know. When I seen him again, I thought to myself, well, why not? Yes, I'm stupid. I sometimes talk to people who I shouldn't. So I come back behind the buildings over here. Now there's a set of stairs right here, as you can see. As you can see, and this is exactly where those two ladies were parked in their little Mustang, right in front of that set of stairs right there. So I pull up next to them as they're sitting there. I said, "Did you see a kid?" And I described him once again. Long ponytail, wearing red or green shorts, red or green shirt, one of the two, with a little backpack. And they actually said, yes, he just walked up those stairs right there. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm not just seeing shit. I'm not crazy. So I leave them and ride back around. ride back around over here, wanted to catch up with this dude. So if he went through that breezeway right there, he obviously had to have come that direction. So I went over there, and I didn't see him. I'm right here tripping balls again, going, where the heck did this kid go? Because those ladies just saw him not 30 seconds ago. He's gone. I'm like, what the... So as I'm riding back this direction, I just gave up on him again. And then I glance over as I'm right here, and he's over there, right behind that Wendy's right there. Now the Wendy's isn't open yet, because it's early in the morning. So I decided to go riding back over here. And I think maybe, you know, he didn't go in the building. There's no cars out here, so nobody's working yet. And look at this. Right behind this Wendy's over here, there's a rock wall right there. Now, I don't know unless you got rubber bands in your legs or you're extremely well at climbing stuff, but that wall is about 5.5 feet tall. It's at least 5 feet tall. And as quick as I could get over here to see him after I had just glanced at him, not 3 seconds before, he was gone. Poof. Just gone. This kid is tripping me out, guys. It's weird, so I'm extremely curious as to how the heck not, you know, first of all, I'm curious as to what the heck he meant, or why he was, you know, saying, remember the devil's coming, and why he was screaming at a statue of Jesus. Like I said, I probably should have just left it alone and went about my business, but, so this kid's disappeared. He's gone again. And part of the story, I actually did ride over there to that little Mexican restaurant, and he was nowhere to be found, but the whole thing was tripping me out, so I went home, and I told my wife about it. I was like, you gotta come with me, I gotta tell you the story while it's still fresh in my mind. So we jumped in the car and I took her down to the cemetery down there, and I walked through the whole story all over again. And at the time it was a lot more fresh in my mind, so I probably remembered a lot more details about it. But I went through the story, and I even, you know, drove her along the path that I took looking for this kid, all the way over here, all the way up to the end, and everything else like that. And I said, this is tripping me out, because I could have sworn I just saw a ghost. Now here's the funny part about it. My wife and several other people have told me about a ghost kid that wanders that cemetery. And it's a late teens, or, you know, mid-teens, late teens Native American boy that wanders that cemetery, who has been seen by many, many other people. That Saturday morning when I was out riding my Ninja, just teaching myself how to ride and stuff, without even knowing it at the time, I saw a ghost while I was out on my motorcycle. And that's a story I'll probably never forget.